is also going to be a little bit weird, a little bit different, just because I'm actually at a friend's hosting a barbecue, and I am at their house. Kind of just excuse myself from the group. So hopefully today's problem won't be too hard, so I don't have to be out from the group for like too long. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, but these are all my software friends, so they understand what's going on, which is great. I thought, since I missed out on yesterday's problem, I'll just take a quick look at it, but I just have to keep an eye on the time because I won't have time to actually do it. So let's see what yesterday's one was. How many messages completely match rule 0? You land, yeah, so let's go to the story. Let's keep going with the story. I've landed in an airport surrounded by dense forest. But as I walk to the high-speed train, like, this whole vacation, this whole holiday has just been me being on different public transport modes. Have I actually done anything on this holiday? Anyway, the elves think they've found a sea monster, but the messages that they've sent from the satellite that have found the image of the sea monster is corrupted. And so they tell me that different rules, different messages should obey certain rules, and these are the rules for them. Ah, okay. So this is some kind of grammar sort of thing, right? Reminds me of like BNF grammar, which is something you could look up if you if you're interested. Yeah, so it's like 0 is 1 and 2, and 1 is A, and 2 is either 1 or 3, 1 3 or 3 1, and 3 is B, and A is 1. So anything that matches this would be anything that starts with A, and then either repeats AB or BA at least once. So if this was 19, if this was puzzle 19, the example rule set here would be some kind of this is equivalent to the regular expression, right? AB or BA repeated at least once, based on what I'm reading of the rules in this example, I think. Yeah, so if I did this, I would probably have to somehow parse that and convert it. I would probably convert it to a regular expression and then just pass it into the regex engine that JavaScript comes with in order to solve it. Right, here's a more interesting example. Yeah, so I would probably just expand it, right? I would probably do something like 5 would be, oh, I can't use def a. So 5 would be B. I know you can't use, I'll use R5 or something. R4 is A. R3 is then either A, you know, so you would have to replace it, right? It would be some kind of R4, R5, or R5, R4, and then I will probably have to put that in brackets to make sure it parses properly. I'll probably have to put everything in brackets, to be honest. Yeah, so if you just joined, this is yesterday's puzzle, not today's. I missed yesterday because I was away. But yeah. Then R2 would be, and I'm keeping my eye on the time. R2 would be R4, R4, or R5, R5. And then R1 would be R2, R3, or R3, R2. And then R0 would be R4, R1, R5. Something like this. And then hopefully what R0 spits out would be a proper regular expression. And then I can just make a regex out of that. Const R equals new regex R0. And then run it through strings and see what matches and what doesn't match. So that's the kind of gist of how I would approach yesterday's puzzle, based on what I just read there. I didn't actually read the whole thing. And I guess the second half would just be kind of like a more complicated version of that. That's a lot of rules though. So that would spit out a really long expression, but I'm sure there are libraries that would handle this sort of thing for you. But anyway, that is yesterday's puzzle, and I'm going to move on to today's one. So That is coming up in 5 seconds, so let's see what is up with today. Okay, I'm gonna, oh, this looks like it's gonna be a tough one. That is gonna require some parsing as well. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm just gonna prepare that for reading. And well, cool, we've got all the data in there. That's great. Let's see what this is about. Let's see, the high-speed train leaves the forest and carries me south. You can see the desert in the distance. Since I have spare time, you might as well see if there's anything interesting on the MIB satellite captured. After decoding some messages, I discovered that data actually contains small images created by the camera array. The camera array consists of many cameras. Rather than producing a single square, they produce smaller tiles that need to be reassembled into the single image. Each camera in the camera array returns a single tile with a random unique ID number. The tiles arrive in a random order. Worse yet, the camera array appears to be malfunctioning. Each image tile has been rotated and flipped to a random orientation. Great. I think the elves need to work on their software, right? Your first task is to reassemble original image by orienting tiles so that they fit together. Great. To show how tiles should be reassembled, each tile's image data includes a border that should line up exactly with its adjacent tiles. All tiles have this border, and the borders line up exactly when the tiles are fully oriented. Tiles at the edge of the image should also have this border. For example, I have these 9 tiles. By rotating, flipping, and arranging them, you can find a square arrangement that causes all adjacent border tiles to line up. Okay. For reference, the IDs are that. To check if assembled image correctly, multiply the IDs of the 4 corner tiles together. If you do this with assembled tiles from the example above, you get this times this times this times, which is that. Assemble the ID tiles of an image. What do you get if you multiply the 4 ID tiles? Okay, so the first thing I'm thinking is, what I would probably do is convert. So I'm just thinking, like, this is like putting together a puzzle, right? But I don't see how I'm going to be able to do that. Like, I don't know an algorithm to do that. So I'm going to cheat. What I'm thinking is, you see this tile in the middle, right? So I need ways to identify the edges first, right? And so the way I can identify edges, I can either just use that as a string, and then like the column as a string as well, which I can't highlight. And then I can look. So each tile will have 4 strings, right? The 4 sides of the tile associated with it. And I can do it as a string, or I was thinking that I could look at it as a binary number, just because in numbers, computers are easier to work with, right? And then all I have to do is find the 4 tiles in the whole thing that have 2 unique edges that matches no other tiles. And we'll see if that happens. We'll see if that happens first. So first thing we need to do is we'll need to parse these tiles, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 by 10. They're 10 by 10. That's okay. Let's do a function read tile. Input. No, I can't call it input. Data. We want to do this in groups of 12 lines because there's a new line at the end. And there's a new line at the end of this one as well. So the first line, data 0, we want to get tile space for colon. Is that every single one of them? Do any of them not match this? Are they all 4 ID tiles? 4 length 4 tiles. We can do this. We can check this. 1730 minus let's see, -2 is that? Divided by 12 is 144. I should have 144 matches. Oops. Maybe I can do it this way. I'll just assume that they are, right? Maybe I can do this. I can say if it's 3, no 3. Yeah, this is probably the way. Is there 5? No 5. So they're all 4 digits long, which is great. It means I can just go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5 to 9. Dot substring 5 to 9. Yeah, so we can cheat with things like this. Sometimes you can parse things properly, sometimes why bother? So I want rows 1 to 10, rows 1 to 10, rows 1 to 10 are my filter. So row 1 and row 10 have to be numbers. So const top equals, oh, I can't call it top. Up is row 1. So I want to make a function convert row. I'll call it data again. What I'm going to do is when I have a sum here, let n equals 0 if data.length minus I minus 1 is a hash, we're going to populate that bit. So n or equals, or plus equals, it's the same thing in this case. 1 bit shifted by I. Return n. Const down equals convert data 10. Const left is going to be, okay, so we need to convert data dot, I think I need a splice here. No, but splice changes the content of the array, right? I don't want splice. I want like data dot I don't know how to remove. Okay, we'll just do it. We'll just do it like this. Const left r equals this, const right r equals this. We're going to do it the old-fashioned way because my programming is not up to scratch. I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus. Left r dot push data I 0. Right r dot push data I dot length minus 1. So then right will be right r. Return id up, down, left, right. So we're going to read tile input, and this will just read me the first tile. And we will compare that to our thing. So it says the tile is 2957, it is. The first number is going to be, oh, I can just go in binary. Okay, so let's just do this. 10011011010 in decimal. is 618, which is great. 111, 0, 0, 0, 1. This is the last, this is down now, I'm checking. That is 911, that is correct. I can go 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. This is left. 563, and right is, but these can be flipped. These can be flipped. So do I have to make sure that I am always reading these? Oh, these can be flipped and rotated. Okay, so every number has to be read both backwards and forwards. Then, because they can be flipped. Rotated is fine. Yeah. I'm gonna need both ways. We'll check this. We'll do this after. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. That sounds about right. 21. Cool. And I also need to pass these backwards. Pass these backwards. Yeah. So I can go m or equals 1 bit shift by data dot length minus I minus 1, I think. So we can check that real quick. Let's do 21 backwards. 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 is 672, which is great. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. This is down. So 1, oh, oops, too many ones. 967, that looks good. Left will be 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. Which is 817. Yeah, okay, and up, I'm just gonna check it backwards because I can. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1 is 3, 4, 5. Cool. So if I do this to every single tile, okay. Now I need to split my input. So const tiles equals nothing for while input.length is greater than 0. We'll do the parsing code we used before. I don't have to because I know I'm taking this in blocks of 12, right? How does splice work? Zero two, but then A is changed, right? Okay, cool. So tiles.push input.splice 012. Console.log tiles.length should be 144, right? Okay, so that didn't work out. Is it doing a different thing to what my node is doing? Oh, it did it, and I just didn't, I wasn't paying attention.
Pay attention.
I just wasn't looking. Cool, 144. Yeah, so I have all my tiles. So I can actually parse all my tiles, right? Const tile data, let's call this. This is my parsed tiles, equals tile data dot map read tile. Is that. Now, I have a problem here in that I'm not, the left and right things in my thing isn't consistent. I want to make sure I'm always reading clockwise or anti-clockwise, so I know which order my thing is coming in. So data 1, so up, for example, is going in, so NM for up will be clockwise, I'm quite sure. So I'm going to do this, just to flip it around. There are better ways to do this, but this is the quicker way. Clockwise, right? So left, so right will not need to be flipped, and left will need to be flipped. I think. Cool, so we'll just check the first tile again, just to make sure we got this right. So the first so index 0 should be the clockwise version. 1 0 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 0. So the reason I want to keep it all in the same direction is because rotations will never change whether you're clockwise or anti-clockwise. But if you flip it, it will. And if I flip a tile, then I need to make sure I'm using all the flipped versions, right? 618 is the first one, yeah, and then 0, and then right should be 21, yeah, and then down should be 967, yeah, and left should be clockwise would be 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 0 1, which is 817, which is good. Okay, so first column is clockwise, second column is anti-clockwise, which is good. So now what I'm going to try is I'm going to chuck all these into a set and count how many times each number shows up. I'm going to count how many times each number shows up. Let's do that. Tiles.forEach t. If t const mat equals const fields equals up, down, left, right. Just going to automate this. fs.forEach field count dot what do I want? Count tf0 is the first field, yes. If that is null, then count tf0. So I can actually do here 0 1 dot for each as well. I. If tfi is 0, then tfi equals 1, else count tf, oops, this is count a, plus plus, console.log count. So I see 1, 2, 3. Okay, I see a lot of 1s, which is not encouraging. I see a lot of 1s, which is not encouraging. Okay, so let's find all the ones that are 1. Can you filter an object in JavaScript? No, you can't. You can do like 2 entries or something. Yeah, dot entries, dot filter. Object dot entries. Dot filter? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I'm going to put a thing around here, like that. Okay, so these are all the ones that are mismatched, right? Which means
Excellent. Knife. We got big or small? They're both sharpened.
which means, let's see. How many of them? How many things do I have here? 96. That 96 is a good number, by the way. It's a multiple of 4, which makes sense. So now we need to match all the opposite numbers.
Yeah, I do.
I wonder if there's like a simple formula for matching numbers. Like, I wonder if these numbers will add up to the same number. No, they don't. They don't add to the same number, which is annoying.
Now what's
But I do want a map of every possible
Any's good. That's big one. This is the main one.
number to its opposite number.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want the big pen, right?
We just want to make sure everyone finds a friend.
Did you say you've got a rosemary plant?
Small one. You just hold here. If I can cut some parts.
If it's too small, then don't worry.
Okay.
Do you have any rosemary? Like
We want to find a friend.
Yes.
We want to make sure every side finds a friend. We want to find the sides that don't find a friend. So all the edge tiles, right, are going to have one tile that don't find a friend. Oh, all the edge tiles are going to have one tile that don't find a friend.
Yes.
14 by 14 is what, 12?
That's range.
So I should have, yes, okay, no, this is perfect. This is perfect. 14 by 14 is
But yeah.
12, right? So there should be
that's the magical pen I use for
40 sides. 40 sides that don't, yes, 40 sides that don't pair up. 40 tiles will have 3 that pair up and 1 that don't, right?
You want olive oil, grapeseed oil, or
40 tiles will have 1, yeah, so 40 tiles, 40 times 2 is 80. So that leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16, 96. 80 plus 16 is 96. Okay, so that was a bit cryptic, but what I'm saying is if I'm counting the number of sides that don't match, that shouldn't have a partner, that's all the edge tiles, right? So every corner tile has 2 sides that won't match up, so that's 8 sides that don't match up, and then all the edges, we have 144 tiles, so this is 12 by 12. Which means every side will have 10 tiles that are, like a edge piece on a puzzle, and they will only have one side that don't match up. And so what that means is, and so 40 plus 8 is 48, times 2 is 96, because I'm counting both forwards and backwards. So we just have to identify which tiles these belong to, these numbers belong to.
They cut it for free for me. I'd say I got it from the butcher. Yes.
So I'm going to do a second one, const tile ID. For each side, count
Were your boards in here?
tile ID TFI. Yes. We're going to copy this pattern. This time, if tile ID doesn't exist, then tile ID that equals an array of t.id. Otherwise, tile ID that dot push t.id. Let's print out tile ID.
Oh, Monkey, you know where you have Bosch oven?
Yeah.
We have the same one at home.
Yeah.
Yes, this is closer to what I want.
Go to Mitre 10.
Because these are all the matching tiles. These are all the matching tiles, right?
Like there.
Mitre
Yeah.
10.
So we'll do the same thing. Const A is.
Ask Michael.
You just
Ask
say.
Michael.
I hope my friends aren't too loud.
Yes.
I went there to buy the light.
I'm not actually sure
And then this one as well.
Yeah.
what it's like.
They charge $20 from fucking Bosch.
Okay, not V is that, but v.length is that. Cool. Which means now we just need to find all the tiles in here, all the tiles in here that only have one, that only appear once. Because every edge tile should appear in here twice. No. Every corner tile should appear in here twice. Yes, every corner tile should appear in here twice, and every edge tile should only appear in here once. And I can already see one of them, 2579 right here. 2579 appears twice. There should only be 4 tiles that appear twice in here.
Talk to Nikki. I don't know. Let him, Michael, just go over it now. Okay.
So dot map.
So very good. Can I help Joe anything?
Relax. Have fun. Talk to me. Guys.
Okay, we'll go v0. Okay, let's do that. And then we'll sort by A0 minus B0.
Yes.
I'm assuming people like medium rare.
Oops. Gotta put some brackets around things.
Like medium rare?
Why would you overcook it?
Exactly, because I'm cooking medium rare.
Just cook it how you cook it and then tell them they don't like it.
That's right.
And then if they want to cook it, they can put it back.
That's what like a proper restaurant does.
Right.
That's not right. We're giving you Wagyu. We don't care how you like it.
They're gonna cook it how they cook it. Yeah.
So this one appears twice only. This appears 4 times, right? So that means it's an edge tile, I think.
Yes.
Right.
That appears twice, that appears twice, that appears twice, that appears twice. No, we want the ones that appear 4 times. So this appears 4 times.
Wrap these in tinfoil and put it on the fire together.
You know we should put in it with butter.
This appears 4 times.
You know how you cook
That's an
it?
edge, that's a corner piece. This appears 4 times. That's a corner piece.
Cook everything with butter. Ask Michael.
Maybe the outside though. The outside would be good butter.
No, you peel it off. You peel the skin
And
off. And then put butter
and then you
and
put butter.
foil it.
and there was a 2000 something that appears. Oh no, 4 times. We want the ones that appear 4 times. 1019. 1019.
Putting too much butter in the chicken last time. I'm like, oh.
There should only be 4 numbers that appear 4 times. 1019.
Where is it?
No,
Oh, you missed out on this. You missed out on the bacon.
I can't read it.
Bacon chicken last night. We cut the whole chicken and bacon and roasted it.
1741,
And then that's
1801,
it's like a
and
because you know in between the skin and the meat.
2473.
That's what you
And the rest of the numbers should not appear 4 times. These are my 4 corner pieces.
That's why I told some kids to give me extra.
Yeah, these are my 4 corner
I hope
pieces.
that's enough.
honey glazed butter.
I'll make it work.
I can go again.
It's like don't ever-
What do I have to do? Multiply them together?
'Cause like, you know how
1019 times 1741 times 1801 times 2473 is
Yes.
this number.
There you go.
Come on, please be right. Yes, 500 in 28 minutes. Dang, this wasn't an easy puzzle.
Yes. They come off the bag and like.
Okay, so now I'm ready to check the image for sea monsters. The borders of each tile are not part of the actual image. Start by removing them.
Oh.
Oh, perfect. So we can just remove all these tiles we've identified.
They grow out more.
Growing your hair.
I'm just gonna set equals this.
No, the dog wants
4 const
Friday.
a of a. Sorry, bad names. I know. Set a 0 equals true. Const. Oh wait, we want all the other tiles, eh?
The fisher box. Fisher box. Oh yeah. Mom just bought it. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Mom just bought it a long time ago.
True const non-edge is object dot keys. set.
Is that on the Korean rice cooker?
Yes,
that,
it's
that
on.
speak?
Yes, it is. Oh my
Is
god.
it worth buying?
That's not good.
How tasty is it rice? I don't
Good,
care
really
if it's like.
It speaks Korean.
We don't need the salt for sure.
Oh,
But what if you can't understand Korean?
you can learn.
Yeah,
I can learn the functions just for rice.
Like, it says when.
I'll do this later.
Oh.
You know,
Useful.
I know.
What situation?
And that means thank you, right?
Yes.
Samida.
Yeah. What situation? Tell me a
So
situation.
if I go to a restaurant, can I say, can I have the menu?
Oh, menu 주세요.
Menu 주세요.
Yeah, 주세요 means please give.
Oh.
Please give. So you say menu.
Yeah, so these are all the tiles that should appear.
Choose means beer, or you can say
How many times should they appear? 6? 6 times? 6 times seems a bit weird.
food.
Like a weird number.
Yeah, whatever you wanna give.
No, they want food. Like food, like the word food.
Food would be 음식.
음식.
Yeah, 음식. 음식. But you don't really use that
Um,
that kind of
well, let's just check the length. 528. 528. It's 10 by 10, right?
Yeah,
Are
it
you-
stays inside.
Are you steaming those kumras?
Yeah, so these will go with the fire.
Okay, I just need to back up here a little bit and see what I'm actually doing because I've lost track of what I'm doing.
Your black pepper.
My friends are talking about getting food and I'm hungry.
Don't make it too hot.
Okay. What have I got here?
I give him royal cannons.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go. Let's just print count here and see what happens.
Yeah, my
I
dad.
didn't know what
Likes his dog like
steak.
steak.
All the ones that have at least 2, right?
Thing is, they need a bit more
It's like-
nutrients than
But
that.
they need carbs.
They need veggies and things like that.
The vet was like, give me them.
Yeah.
Like that.
I want the ones with at least 2.
It's like
Yeah,
McDonald's.
because usually when people feed raw food like that,
So we don't
they
link.
boil up carrots and potatoes
Greater than
and
one.
mix it up with it.
Yeah. You're supposed to do that if you're gonna give them meat.
Yeah, it's 'cause
That's why it's better to use the dry biscuit because
Oops.
they've already done the research on the balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, the thing is, they still dry biscuits. They got some freeze. Like,
Yeah.
options with it. It's like, I'll be like chicken and rice or some.
And then they do it. And human.
I'm just gonna not do this map.
I'll just give it fresh. I'll cook it for them.
Yeah.
Some steak and rice.
I know I'm calcium. Sometimes it's not cool inside.
Okay, so these are all the inner tiles. But I don't get why it's 528. It should be. It should be. I'm not sure. Well, let's see what the problem is. The sea monster will look like this.
Not really.
Yeah. Can we show some?
I'm gonna be cooking bottoms iPhone.
Serious.
I have to actually put the pictures together, right? Alright, just give me a sec, real quick. Hey, yeah, no, so I am actually streaming, but nah, all good.
Oh yeah.
So why didn't I get 96 before? I was counting edges, right? And I counted 96 edge. I counted. Shouldn't I have 400 times 2 numbers here, which is 800? Okay, well let's just see what this is. Because in my image, the monster will look like this. We're looking for this pattern in the image. The spaces can be anything. Only the hashes need to match.
Oh, this is good stuff.
Right, okay, the hashes of the monster. Only the hashes of a monster need to match. Also, you might need to rotate or flip your image before it's correctly oriented to find sea monsters. In the above image, after flipping and rotating it to the appropriate orientation, there are 2 sea monsters, marked as 0. Right. So how rough the waters are in the sea, monsters habitat by counting the number of hashes that are not part of a sea monster. In the above example, So I have to actually put this image together and then actually find the sea monster. Oh, like this is gonna take me until 7 o'clock. I feel like I need the edges in order to put the image together. I should put this together like a puzzle, right? I have the 4 corners. So now that once I have the 4 corners, let it say flip. Let it say flip or rotated? Flipping or rotating it. Yeah. So I just need the 4 corners.
I was gonna bring some salt. I think these peppers
With the 4 corners,
on the way here because I ran out.
I might have to do this by hand because I really don't know how to.
Not for stick. I haven't used it for stick.
I've seen some like videos where like they cover.
I just go to the window and he wakes up like, and then he stands up.
Like they completely cover it.
Maybe you can see them inside, so they don't know. Maybe that's one. That smells like alcohol because we're just drinking it. It's like, here, have some water, but you're already just drinking it. Do you want us to clean up?
Contaminated water.
That's fine.
Is there like a from entries
Oh, yeah.
kind of function somewhere?
Do you remember when you brought in
There's no paper
the
towel.
water bottle?
Oh,
yeah.
Paper towel.
And you knew I used to bring a water bottle
Yeah.
to like exams.
Oh, there is a from entries, but maybe it's not a note.
No.
It's just like an H2O bottle.
And then you never ever checked. You just sat there drinking vodka
Drinking
through
vodka.
the exam.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Well, I
afford
already
it.
brought it to class as well.
Oh no, it exists. Okay, cool. From entries is cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I guess the water.
Brought my music speaker as well.
I'll just call it T's. Because object dot from entries
Oh,
tiles dot map
that was when you guys met. I can't drink vodka like
t dot id t.
I don't know where he got it, so I asked him for his actual ticket.
Yeah. It's all day. There you go.
Gotta make Uncle Roger proud.
Uncle Roger. I love Uncle Roger. Uncle Roger.
Hiya!
Hey, y'all, someone smack him in the face.
Ramsey making some primary.
Have you not seen that?
You not seen
Oh,
that?
dude.
You have to watch it.
Yes, you are definitely missing something.
You know what's
If I have the corners
so
though,
assaulted him in London?
how did I match?
Uncle Roger.
Yes, okay. Because I also have a map of, so tile, what's this? Tile ID, I think?
Elena goes nuts with her toy. Look, go, go. Man, does she even go crazy?
Yeah, tile ID will find me all the all the things that match.
Amanda go crazy before. She's like.
So for example, if I go tile ID 762, I'll find the matching tile. If I go 3181, I should get the same matching tile.
Did you bring that in?
Yeah, I get the same tile, which is great. Either one of them should give me the same tile. So 9 is a missing one. Okay, so
She brought in a lizard
that is a
before.
corner. Hey,
It's
what's
a
up?
quiet space. It's quite a space.
Oh. You guys let me know if I need to find a quieter space.
She always takes the skin.
983 is also, yeah, so down and left in this tile
Tired, so
is
She eats birds.
are the corners.
yeah.
And it's gone.
Oh my gosh.
She would not give it
That's
to me.
swallow.
You're like 2 bites and gone. Catch Chinese. No, they bring lizards and then let them go and then play.
Yeah, that's
And then if I find tile
She's getting my temperature. Just can't catch birds.
2543, for example,
Bring them in, come out, and be like, he's not here.
Yeah.
I give you 3
one of them will be 368. So down will match with that. Okay,
Oh my gosh. What she does is she catches skinks, brings
I
them inside,
need
goes,
a 12 by 12 array
boards,
so that I can put in
so she brings them inside, they kind of
the tile ID for each space and the orientation of that tile,
then the skink gets back to tile and like stop moving, like
and whether or not it
it
needs to be
doesn't die, but
flipped.
it's like,
Whether or not it needs to be
I'm
flipped.
done. Then we pick it up there, pick the skink up, pick it outside, give it a wash up shower, and then let it go.
Like, yeah, let your breathe life of
Yeah,
yours.
yeah, yeah.
This is really, really, really tricky.
Go all in.
Go all in.
368, for example, is in column 1, which means this tile down and left. So, okay, let's check top then, right? Because this tile is down and left, like this. Maybe this would be faster. Just do it by hand.
All the butchers are
So 762. So tile 1361, right? Is in position 1 0. X is 1, 0. 762 is in the first column, which means in the second tile, which way is up? Right is on the left, which means down is up, and it does not need flipping. If down is up, that means left is on the right. And I have tile 109. No, not tile 109. I need to find the tile
Any leftover, I can add.
with 109, which is tile 3137. Now 109 is in the second column, which means this tile needs to be flipped. That means I now need to look for 484. 484 for the next one. I think. Which means the next tile we need to look for is 1847. 1847. 484 is in the first column, so we need to look. So it's down, so we need to look at up. So 240, like that, and that's the next tile. And we keep going until we've done 12 times. Then we need to go down one and go left. Here's an interesting thing to note. These tiles match on all the borders, right? So every border is repeated twice in a row. Like those two rows will be exactly the same. Wait a second. Oh, the borders of each tile are not part of the image. Not the borders are not part of the image. The borders of each tile are not part of the image. Oh. I know how I want to do this. It's just going to take me like an hour to do, and I really don't know if I have an hour to do this. So I might have to just call my stream here. But like you kind of see I really might just have to call a stream here because I know what I want to do, but it's literally going to take me an hour or two to finish, and I unfortunately don't have that kind of time. But you see what I did, right? I started with a corner tile. I figured out the orientation of the corner tile based on the sides that don't match. So we know that down and left are the edges of the corner. Maybe I should change the order of this. Up, right, down, left. Like this. So I know down and left are the edges, right? So then I find the next one. So up would be I need to look at up. So because I've chosen the orientation of this tile, everything else just needs to match it. So 762 is the first tile you look at. 762 leads me to tile 136. So 1361 is the tile that matches this tile. So look at that tile, and that tile 762 is on right, which means the tile needs to be rotated upside down to match. If it's rotated upside down to match, that means the next tile is going to match the left-hand side because I matched 762. I'm looking at the first column, so 109. 109, 109 leads me to tile 3137. 3137 has 109 on one of its edges, but that edge is on the second. It's in the second column, right? It's in the second index, which means this tile needs to be flipped, like mirrored, in order to yeah. So flipping a tile will flip whether I'm reading the edge of the border of the tile clockwise or anti-clockwise. But rotating the tile won't change whether I'm reading it clockwise or anti-clockwise, right? So this means I have to flip the tile. So I flip the tile, right matches with, if I flip a tile, does right, do right and left and up and down change? It doesn't matter. If I flip the tile,
End of the year, yeah, just chill.
up, right, down, left. I flip it, suddenly it's up, right, down, left, which is going to be interesting. Yeah, so I do need to flip it. But the next tile is still left, right? And because it's flipped, I need to look at the same column, so it's 484. 484 gets me the next tile. Maybe I'll do this 10 times, just to be sure, right? Just I will stop the stream after doing this first row, but after this first row, I should get to 10. I should get to 12, right? And then after 12 tiles, there should be no more tiles to my right because I should have reached another corner piece. So the 12th tile in this sequence should be one of these other corner tiles. And if it is, then I'm happy that I've worked it out. So let's go with that. 2111, I'm looking for 240. 240 is on the right. It's on the right, so 115 is the next one. That takes me to 2711. 2711 has 115 on the right, on up, so next one is 741, which is the down in index position 1. That takes me to 3797, which leads me to 4741, so this is index 0, so it's left, so I need to go right, index 0, 538. 538 takes me to 3331, which means it's left index 1, so I need to go right index 1, 290. 290 takes me to 1621. 1621 goes to, I'm looking for what, 290 down index 1, so up. That one, which takes me to 1429. 1429 takes me to up index 1, so down index 1, 861. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this next tile should be the 11th tile. 3803. 861 is right index 1, so left index 1 is 897, and 897 takes me to 1801, which I believe 897 is up index 1, so down index 1 should not exist, because I should be at a corner piece right now, and I am. So I reached the corner piece, right? 1801, which is a corner. So no, it's all good, it's all good. Yeah.
Use a for loop. Use a for loop.
Yeah, no, I'm just console logging everything. Yeah, so I started from a corner piece. I went 12 tiles across, and I ended up at a corner piece. So that is generally how you would put the puzzle together. Except actually coding that is going to take too long, and I honestly don't have the time. I'm really sorry about that. So I'll call the stream here. I may or may not complete this when I have more time, but it is a really time-consuming algorithm for me to put together. So good luck if you're going to do it. This is one way you could do that. Once you put it together, then actually searching the image for the sea monster is another bit of a challenge. That would be interesting. Yeah, so these are all my software friends. We went to college, or we call it uni here in New Zealand, together. That was like 10 years ago. So yeah, good luck if you're gonna do it. I'll see you again tomorrow, and have a nice day.
Yeah. Right. So they look after each other, but not the other cow.
Yeah, so our,
Right.
Nick and I, we have these two, they're bonded, they're happy as, and then Lulu just terrorizes them, and
It's
then
not
Russell
like a
terrorizes Lulu,
different-
so, and then Lulu
It's not
chooses
different
to
guys,
like
different
this.
history.
So your own Netflix series, basically.
Yeah, basically. It's like,
That's
have you seen
spicier.
that meme of like the cats or the